Coming up in SVG-TV News and Sports this evening at 7, Gonzalez raises concerns about economic conditions under NDP administration. Barbados moves toward offshore oil and gas exploration. Indonesia free school meals program hit by $15 billion corruption scandal. And in sports, Renson Haynes appointed a new manager of National Sports Council. These and other stories coming up in SVG-TV News and Sports this evening at 7. Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV News and Sports for Thursday, June 4th, 2026. I am Rochelle Baptiste with the details. Leader of the opposition, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, says St. Vincent and the Grenadines is heading toward what he described as an economic disaster under the NDP administration. Speaking on Star Radio yesterday, Dr. Gonzalez argued that many Vincentians are facing increasing hardships and claimed he has received numerous complaints from citizens who say conditions have worsened since the change in government.
They in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the people are far worse off. The people are poorer than they were in November last year. And that in the 6 months thus far of the NDP administration, the country is going to hell, metaphoric hell in a handbasket. Things are deteriorating every single day. Things are getting from bad to worse. Deteriorating every single day. The country, the people are poorer. People are catching the nenen.
Dr. Gonzalez also said Minister Carlos James has suggested measures the government could take to improve living conditions and address current economic challenges.
Carlos said, listen, we must provide it with some support. He said we must reduce taxes, including excise taxes on fuel, and place certain caps on those taxes, time-bound it for a period of time to be fine-tuned. 8, he said we must have fuel subsidies, particularly for the minibus operators and the taxi men. Direct up to at least 50% of the increases. He suggested reverse tax credits, which he said we have to fine-tune. And he urged that there be a resource mobilization strategic framework, that you have to mobilize resources, which the government wasn't doing, because they were concentrating on their austerity now.
Just a correction, it's Senator Carlos James and not Minister Carlos James. The opposition leader called for decisive action to ease the burden on citizens and strengthen the country's economic outlook. Borrowing member countries of the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, say the institution's reform agenda should focus on creating a more proactive and client-oriented operating model. Speaking on behalf of the borrowing member countries at the opening of the CDB's 56th annual meeting in the Bahamas yesterday, Prime Minister Dr. Godwin Friday said while member countries support the bank's reform efforts, they want to see programs that delivered greater impact and more tangible results.
Considering our structural challenges in the region, the bank must make its development impact felt with greater speed and with far more reach. The borrowing member countries have delivered a clear mandate. We must move swiftly to implement the transformative reforms to eliminate friction and drive our institution forward. The need is urgent, and therefore the time to act is now. The borrowing member countries urge the bank to accelerate project implementation, address the persistent issue of undisbursed loans, and reform its procurement frameworks by adopting digital tools and risk-based approaches.
Prime Minister Friday also called on the CDB to pursue strategic partnerships that can be leveraged for the benefit of borrowing member countries and help advance regional development goals.
We also encourage the bank to aggressively embrace and leverage partnerships with other multilateral development banks, as well as bilateral development partners, to mobilize private capital and maximize co-financing. To sustain this ambitious agenda, the borrowing member countries appeal directly to all CDB shareholders and non-regional partners to fully support the bank in its strategic direction.
The Prime Minister further referenced the CDB's 10-year strategic plan, emphasizing that its successful implementation will require the support and commitment of all borrowing member countries. And while attending the Caribbean Development Bank's annual meeting in the Bahamas, Prime Minister Dr. Godwin Friday held a high-level bilateral meeting with Kristen Lang, a director of the Green Climate Fund's Department for Latin America and the Caribbean. According to a news release from the Office of the Prime Minister, discussions focus on expanding St. Vincent and the Grenadines' access to climate financing and advancing initiatives that support sustainable development, economic growth, and climate resilience. The release says during the meeting, Prime Minister Friday outlined the government's key priorities, including water security, agriculture, sustainable tourism, and the blue economy. A major topic of discussion was a comprehensive water security initiative currently being prepared for submission to the Green Climate Fund. The project aims to address water-related vulnerabilities and support SVG's long-term development objectives while strengthening its capacity to adapt to climate-related challenges. The CDB's 56th annual general meeting in the Bahamas began on June 1st and concludes on June 5th, 2026. In other local news now, we hear that Executive Director of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, SVG-TV, Elizabeth Riley, is calling on Caribbean countries to strengthen their partnerships with the agency not only during disasters, but also in response to shifting geopolitical realities. Speaking at the opening of the Climate Outlook Forum held here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Monday, Riley said the country has received approximately $1.5 million in support over the past 6 years through its membership in SVG-TV.
So membership in SVG-TV matters, and the value of this membership as well as regional cooperation is very clearly demonstrated in the experience of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Between September 2019 and August 2025, St. Vincent and the Grenadines benefited from approximately $1.54 million in SVG-TV facilitated support. This represents a return of more than 288% on the country's assessed contributions which were paid to SVG-TV during that same period. And this support extended across the entire disaster management cycle. Following Hurricane Beryl, 91 regional surge personnel were deployed to support emergency communications, security operations, rapid needs assessment, coordination, relief management, and logistics.
Riley noted that disaster response and support across the region have increased significantly since 2001. She said assistance provided to St. Vincent and the Grenadines has included support following the eruption of La Soufrière volcano in 2021.
Following the Soufrière eruption in 2021, in addition to the response efforts, which I won't go into, we also provided support for recovery planning, agricultural resilience initiatives, rehabilitation of schools used as shelters, continuity of government measures, as well as technical support to national planning and recovery institutions. Additional investments have supported community-based disaster risk management, safe building programs, emergency telecoms, early warning systems, and youth engagement in disaster risk reduction. And I want to just make a plug here and say we actually have had 2 young professionals at the Sedema Coordinating Unit from St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the last cohort of 6. We were very happy to welcome them for that 18-month period. And I know that this will redound to the benefit of St. Vincent and the Grenadines when those individuals return to make their own contributions.
Emphasizing the importance of regional solidarity, Riley said Caribbean nations must work together to address common challenges, noting that no country can effectively operate in isolation. She also pointed to the impact of global geopolitical developments and the need for greater regional self-reliance. Sedema was established 35 years ago and currently comprises 21 participating states, including member countries of CARICOM. The Solid Waste Management Unit is intensifying its monitoring of illegal dumping across the mainland, particularly in known litter hotspots. Recently, a team from the Central Water and Sewage Authority, along with South Windward Parliamentary Representative Andrew John, visited Argyle and later Acres to assess the situation. During the stop in Acres, manager of the Solid Waste Management Unit of the Central Water and Sewage Authority, Thaj Maxman, again urged residents to desist from illegal dumping, stressing that stronger enforcement of the Litter Act is necessary to address the problem.
The authority, we would have noticed it in the past month or so, and we would have directed a crew, several crews to have this area cleaned up. However, in this case, a lot of the material has now gone over the embankment and it's unsafe for us to send our workers there. So we are just reaching out to the general public, again, to please desist from dumping your waste. In Argyle Acres, there's a landfill in Diamond, which is about 5 to 10 kilometers from here. If you have anything that you need to be disposed of, please take it to the landfill. Most municipal solid waste is free of charge when you take it to the landfill, so you don't have to worry about a fee. A fee only comes along when you have hazardous or special waste. The CWSA directly, we are not the regulatory agency, but the police and public health. And what I can attest to this, they're going to be ramping up their regulatory action. So.
Minister John also encouraged members of the public to report incidents of illegal dumping. He said he intends to take a proactive approach to addressing the issue and discouraging persons from disposing of waste unlawfully.
Now, in terms of the fines, I heard the specialist talk about. That is something we are going to ramp up. Now, for me, I am trying to get cameras inserted. You know, there are cameras that we could use as an initial deterrent, right? We want people to stop, and we are not going to stop until they stop, right? So whether we use these cameras or we ask people to look out. We have people on the way to Acres, to the main road. They can also play a part in identifying and reporting trucks that they see come this side with materials. You know, once you see they come through here with garbage, rubbish, you know they are going to dump it in your area. Now this morning while we're here, there are 2 dogs. I don't know.
Minister John noted that plans are in place for a broader beautification program across the South Windward constituency. However, he emphasized that proper waste disposal and management must first be addressed to ensure the success of those efforts. The local news will continue in a moment. Stay with us.
Welcome to Seastar.
Welcome to the upgraded Seastar Limited,
where we offer to almost all your household items.
They've expanded their range to sofas, dining and patio sets, beds and mattresses, wardrobes, kitchen cabinets, office furniture. That's just a few from the luxurious collection. Not forgetting their signature quality windows, doors, rails and bathroom enclosures. Journey on up to Seastar, where their friendly sales clerk is happy to assist. Seastar Limited, where quality meets style.
A funeral service should be one that you can be proud of. One that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones. And that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. We are proud of the quality and class we have brought to the industry. We are proud for having trained the very first certified embalmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are proud of leading the way in terms of live streaming of funerals online so that your family members overseas could also be part of the celebration of life. We are constantly improving our services. We are driven by customer satisfaction, and we are proud of all that we do.
New Haven Funeral Home.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
This Friday, June 5th, you can help realize your dreams with a lotto jackpot of $84,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a little lotto can do. It's a lotto jackpot of $84,000. This Friday, June 5th. You have to be in it to win it.
Welcome back. Students of the Girls High School were recognized for their achievements during yesterday's closing ceremony for the Girls Empowerment Skills Program project, where participants received certificates of completion in a range of skills-based courses. The initiative was designed to equip young women with practical and vocational skills, providing opportunities to develop talents beyond the traditional classroom setting. Director of the Mustique Charitable Foundation, Natalia Gill, addressed the ceremony and highlighted the growing need for more technical and vocational education and training TVET opportunities within schools.
As we look forward to the future as a nation, there is a growing need for more TVET opportunities in our schools, because not every student's talents are expressed solely through traditional academic subjects. The Mustique Charitable Foundation believes that investing in skill development empowers young people to become more self-reliant. The success of this program demonstrates the value of creating spaces where young women, especially, can learn by doing, and it helps you to build confidence in your abilities, because one day you guys are going to be in charge of your own homes. It also allows you to broaden your horizon beyond the classroom.
Minister of Youth, Sports, Culture and Creative Industries, Kashaka Cupid, also addressed the gathering. He encouraged students to continue expanding their abilities, emphasizing that acquiring practical skills can complement academic achievements and open additional opportunities for future success.
It is all good to focus on your academics as young girls. However, it is even better, even greater, to complement your academics with skills training as well and development. And as part of the government, we recognize the importance of skills training to the advancement of our people. Now, as I was given a tour, I recognized and observed the talent and the display on offer. And I was amazed with the woodwork most of all. But I just want to encourage you, while you may focus on your academics, having a skill creates even more opportunities for you as young people.
The ceremony marked the successful completion of the program and celebrated the accomplishments of the students while reinforcing the importance of skills development and empowerment among young women across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Preparations for Vincy Mas 2026 are progressing smoothly and are ahead of schedule compared to previous years, according to CDC Festival Development Officer Vincy Mas. Speaking on the ongoing preparations for the country's premier cultural festival on radio today, Mas said the earlier start to planning and execution has allowed organizers to make significant progress in several key areas, pointing out that extensive efforts are being made to ensure that Vincentians and visitors enjoy another memorable edition of Vincy Mas.
The team has been working very diligently, I must say that, with all of our stakeholders, from the artists to sponsors to community service providers and, of course, government agencies, to ensure that we deliver a festival that is exciting one, that is by and large culturally rich, that is safe, and that is economically beneficial. There's a lot of work happening behind the scenes, as one might imagine. Oftentimes, you can't even catch a breath, but nonetheless, that is the work, that is the festival. And we are looking forward to unraveling, experiencing the most incredible Vincy Mas experience for this year under the theme, The Great Escape. As you might imagine, there are several things already happening. So there's Calypso Tents, there are several activities already happening. Miss SVG just concluded. We have Rum and Rhythm tomorrow in Barley. There are several things. The wheels are moving, the paths are moving, there's full steam ahead. When I got up this morning, I realized, like, yeah, we're here again.
Addressing plans for decorations, Mas said organizers are looking to introduce additional enhancements this year. He said changes are being considered to further improve the overall visual experience and add to the festive atmosphere throughout the carnival season.
In relation to the responsibility of decoration, I would say yes and no in relation to solely in the hands of the CDC. And I would always maintain that carnival and culture in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is collective responsibility. So for the most part, we would do the decorations, we would decorate public space. There are some private business places who usually would collaborate with us, whether they would order their decorations through us and then also maybe engage us with the installation of those decorations. But for the most part, CDC doesn't necessarily have responsibility for people's private properties. Continue to engage collaboration and to encourage that. I know, of course, that decoration really do add to the festivities. We do have some plans for this year in terms of changing the way we do decorate. Usually we would see the streamers and the buntings, but we're now trying to be more innovative with how we decorate, how we present particular things, especially within 2026 and the anticipated influx of people that are already on the internet anticipating Vincy Mas 2026. We are now in June, so we would say maybe about over the course of the next 2 weeks, thereabout, we should see more and more getting towards the completion of full decoration.
With preparations continuing at a steady pace, organizers remain focused on delivering a vibrant and successful Vincy Mas that showcases the culture, creativity, and energy of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That brings us to the end of our local news from the region. When we return, stay with us.
The Ever-Ready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Ever-Ready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Ever-Ready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Ever-Ready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Quality products, quality care, low prices, great customer service, all at Q-Care Pharmacy. Q-Care leads the way, providing all your pharmaceutical needs, a variety of personal care products, and so much more. Located on Halifax Street. Telephone number 451-2690. Q-Care Pharmacy, where the Q stands for quality.
Beautiful white and black sand beaches, lush mountains and valleys, rivers, hidden waterfalls, and multiple islands and islets. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are a friendly people, welcoming tourists from all over the world with exotic boutique and luxury hotels and a hospitable business environment. Let's make all tourists welcome at our international airport, on cruises, on yachts, on sailboats, on land and sea tours, at beach lines, at our restaurants, shops and bars, and at our national festivals. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tourism is everyone's business. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Tourism is everyone's business. Yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Welcome back. In our news from the region now, we hear that Barbados is set to begin drilling for potentially billions of barrels of oil and natural gas as early as next year. Minister of Energy and Business and Acting Prime Minister Carrie Simmons announced a major oil exploration initiative, which is being touted as having the potential to inject billions of dollars in direct revenue into the country's economy while strengthening national energy security. We hear more in this report.
Hidden in Barbados' massive marine space are billions of dollars worth of oil and natural gas, potentially a game changer for the economy. Through the launch of the Barbados 2026 offshore direct negotiations, the island is seeking to exploit those resources. It intends to license up to 19 available blocks across highly prospective areas of our shelf and ultra-deep water acreage. Acting Prime Minister Simmons says the pre-qualification process commenced June 1st and will be governed by the Offshore Petroleum Act Cap 282A as amended.
We have done seismic surveys, two-dimensional seismic surveys and three-dimensional seismic surveys. And they would suggest to us that we have the potential of having perhaps as many as 13 or more billion barrels of potential oil, and then 40 plus trillion meters of cubic feet, of natural gas.
When asked how much money in oil and natural gas is within these 19 blocks, the acting Prime Minister responded in this way.
It's based on global oil prices, but certainly it would run into billions of dollars. There's no question about that.
On average, Barbados pays approximately $400 million to import fossil fuels. That figure climbed to $1.2 billion within the first 2 years of the Russia-Ukraine war.
That's all news from the region. The international news is coming up next. Stay with us.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
$260,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot for Friday, June 5th. It's $260,000.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Sing a Rizzy family store. We sell everything you need for your kitchen and more. Top brands and appliances. TVs, fridges, cookers. We make your life so easy. Just come in and see us. A wide range of furniture.
Right here at Singer.
Affordable beds and mattresses.
Right here at Singer. Washing machines to make your laundry clean and fresh. Singer is a family store
that gives you the best hire purchase deals.
Right here at Singer.
We'll outfit your home.
Right here at Singer. The #1 family store.
It's us with Singer.
Welcome back. On the international scene now, we hear that Indonesia's free meal scheme is under renewed scrutiny after the recently dismissed head of the program was arrested on corruption charges. The initiative aims to provide a free daily meal to school children and pregnant women. We hear more in this report.
These free meals are delivered daily across Indonesia, part of the government's program for children and pregnant and breastfeeding women, which aims to combat poor nutrition. But the ambitious project is under renewed public scrutiny. This week, President Prabowo Subianto fired the head of the scheme, Dadan Hindayana. A day later, he and 2 deputies were arrested, accused of corruption.
The foundations appointed as partners of the Nutrition Fulfillment Service Unit are foundations that are used for crime and are affiliated with the National Nutrition Body officials or employees.
Dadan is also accused of procuring goods at marked up prices, including more than 21,000 electric motorbikes and 5,400 televisions. Investigators raided the agency's office and the homes of those detained.
It's quiet outside the headquarters of the National Nutrition Agency, with only a small number of staff working inside the building. Despite this latest controversy, the government says its program to feed tens of millions of people will continue without disruption.
That's the news. Sport is just ahead, but before that, let's take a look at the local weather forecast.
The weather report sponsored by General Hardware.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Present conditions, partly cloudy, slightly hazy and breezy. Winds northeast at 24 kilometers per hour, temperatures 27.8 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity is 79%. The barometric pressure is 1014.5 millibars. 24-hour rainfall nil. Today's maximum temperature is 30.5 degrees Celsius. Today's minimum temperature is 26.6 degrees Celsius. Sunrise at 5:37 a.m., sunset at 6:29 p.m. The forecast, it's occasionally cloudy and breezy with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. The synopsis, weak unstable conditions are across the islands.
The weather report was sponsored by General Hardware.
This Friday, June 5th, you can help realize your dreams with a lotto jackpot of $84,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a little lotto can do. It's a lotto jackpot of $84,000. This Friday, June 5th. You have to be in it to win it.
Good evening and welcome to the Evening Sports. I'm Triska Campbell. The Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Creative Industries announced the appointment of Renson Haynes as the new manager of the National Sports Council. Before Haynes, the position was held by former West Indies cricketer Nixon McLean. Ranson Hayne brings extensive leadership management, operational and project administration experience to the role, having built a distinguished professional career in the United States within the fields of construction management, engineering, administration, and large-scale project coordination. In addition to his professional accomplishments, Haynes possesses a strong sporting background and has represented St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the national level in football. He previously served as manager of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines senior men's national football team from 2021 to 2022 and was also a long-standing member of the national team between 2001 and 2010. According to a press release, Minister of Youth, Sports, Culture and Creative Industries Kashaka Cupid welcomed the appointment and expressed confidence in Haynes' ability to contribute positively to the advancements of sports administration and infrastructural development in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The ministry says it is looking forward to working closely with Haynes as the National Sports Council continues its efforts to enhance sport development, improve facility management, and strengthen the overall sporting landscape in the country. In cricket now, captain and wicket-keeper Kusal Mendes hits 72 off 62 to energize Sri Lanka after a slow start, while Nasinka 79, Karith 45 and Janith 44 not out produce important innings in Sri Lanka's advancement to 303 for 7 of their 50 overs in the first City United cricket match at Kingston in Jamaica yesterday. On a Sapina Park surface, they took some turn. Their total turned out to be 41 too many for the West Indies, who began solidly enough but were ultimately ruined by the Sri Lanka's spinners. Mish returned outstanding figures of 2 for 26 as West Indies batters frequently failed to pick up variations, while Hasaranga took 1 for 43. The only West Indies batter to cross 50 was captain Shea Hope, who hit 56 from 66 balls. After the teams exited briefly for bad lights when the West Indies were 9 down in the 49th over, they returned to finish the match, the last wicket going down with 4 balls to spare. Sri Lanka now go 1-0 up in the 3-match series. The second City United ODI is slated for Saturday, June 6th at the same venue. After completing the 3-match series against Sri Lanka, the West Indies will host New Zealand in a 5-match one-day international series. West Indies women were denied a valuable time in the middle when persistent showers brought a premature end to their 4th and final match of the Ivara Tri-Nation Women's T20 International Cricket Series against Pakistan women and Ireland on Wednesday. Despite the absence of inspirational captain Hayley Matthews and veteran Stephanie Taylor, all-rounder Chanel Henry led the West Indies, who found themselves in complete control of the contest, having limited Pakistan to 117 for 7 after 16.5 overs. However, the heavens opened up thereafter, causing the match to be abandoned and ruled no result. It meant that West Indies women ended the Tri-Nation series with 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 no result from their 4 matches. They, however, would have been looking forward to some much-needed batting practice ahead of their opening ICC Women's World Cup fixture against New Zealand on June 13th. And in the NBA, New York Knicks overcame a 14-point third-quarter deficit to snatch a 105-95 victory against the San Antonio Spurs in the opening game of the best-of-7 NBA Finals in San Antonio last night. Jalen Brunson scored 13 of his 30 points in the final quarter, as the Knicks scored 11 points without a reply to Serge Clair in the final 2 minutes. With their 12th win in a row, the Knicks matched the second-best all-time postseason streak set by the Spurs in 1999. That was the Knicks' most recent appearance in the best-of-7 finals when the Spurs beat them to the title. The Knicks are bidding to win their first championship since 1973. The best-of-7 series continues in San Antonio with Game 2 tomorrow night before the teams head to Madison Square Garden for Game 3 on Monday. That's how we end sports this evening. I'm Triska Campbell. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
This Friday, June 5th, you can help realize your dreams with a lotto jackpot of $84,000. Your dream vacation, a university degree, that new ride, your new house can all suddenly be within your reach. What a little lotto can do. It's a lotto jackpot of $84,000. This Friday, June 5th, you have to be in it to win it.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. Very clean general hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the general. So don't let them fool you. General hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the general beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the general. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Welcome back. Now for a second look at the headlines. Gonzalez raises concerns about economic conditions under NDP administration. Barbados moves towards offshore oil and gas exploration. Indonesia free school meals program hit by $15 billion corruption scandal. And in sports, Renson Haynes appointed new manager of National Sports Council. Now for a recap of the local weather forecast. It's occasionally cloudy and breezy with a few scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. I am Rochelle Baptiste, inviting you to visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news and daily headlines. Also, don't forget to check out SVG-TV News weekdays at 12:45 p.m. Again, thanks for viewing. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
SVG's Heart and Soul. Magic 103.7, 91.5. Today's music, yesterday's hits.